The pain in your butt won't go away if you're doing random sheets of exercises. And I know because as a top 1% specialist in my field, I've helped thousands of people find the one motion that unlocks their pain relief. And chances are, whether you believe me or not, you're just one motion away from pain relief as well. And so if you have some type of back, butt, hip, or leg pain, in this video, I'm going to give you the 4-step process that I use with every patient to help you find the one pain relieving motion that will work for you. And I call this process hunting for motions. Now, in order for you to adopt the hunting for motions process, this idea of you are just one motion away, I need you to understand two very important things. Number one, why doing a sheet of exercises makes no sense, and how movement should be used as medicine for pain relief. And so imagine now that you go to the doctor with some type of pain in your back, butt, hip, or leg, and they give you 6 or 7 different pills at one time. And a week later, something happens. You either feel same, better, or worse. But why? And the truth is, it would be impossible for you or for them to know. Because not only are they giving you too many pills at one time, but these pills are often addressing many different problems or hypotheses, reasons for why they think you hurt at the same time. Now let's zoom in on these pills and imagine they've given you different types of pills, all addressing, again, different potential problems. So they give you an anti-inflammatory pill, which must mean they think your pain is due to inflammation. Think of things like naproxen, or maybe some type of even steroid dose pack, something like that. And then they give you a pain pill. So they must be thinking, well, it's not an inflammation problem because oftentimes pain pills don't address inflammation. Then they give you a nerve pill, like a gabapentin, Lyrica, something like that. So is it a nerve problem? Then they give you an anti-anxiety pill because you're all wound up. So now, are they saying your pain is caused by stress or anxiety? And then they give you a muscle relaxant. So are they saying that it's due to tension in your body, a muscle problem, and that's why it hurts? Well, or is it a nerve problem? Or is it an anxiety problem? Or is it an inflammation problem? And then, well, while you're there, they give you a heart pill because they found that you have some high blood pressure or something like that. So they add that to the cocktail. So now if we think of movement as medicine, and we take a standard sheet of exercises and we see each of these individual motions as individual pills, you can see right off the bat that these pills are exactly the same because these exercises are in fact the same or very similar. One is done in seated and one is done in lying. Why would you give 2 of the same pills at one time? Not so sure. And you can also see that these white pills are doing a couple things. They're stretching the glutes. And if somebody's providing you with stretching exercises, they must believe that your symptoms are due to tightness or a lack of flexibility or motion. But then if we look over here, the direct opposite thing is being prescribed at the same time. You'll see that they're doing a bunch of strengthening exercises. So is it due to tightness? Or do they believe that your problem is due to weakness and that's why they're prescribing strengthening exercises? So at the end of the day, you can see when we mix all these different things together, the question really becomes, well, what is the root cause? And what problem are we trying to fix? And so mixing many different pills together at one time is unscientific and it makes it impossible to tell what's working and what's not working. Just as mixing many exercises together at one time is really no different. And so one final question to really hammer this home for you. Is the goal of taking any pill or medicine to take as much as possible or as little as needed, if any? And nobody up to this point has ever disagreed with me. They all say, and I imagine you would too, as little as needed, if any. No pills. I don't want to take any pills. Movement is medicine. I want you to challenge yourself to think of it like that. Therefore, the goal is not to do an entire sheet of exercises or as many as possible, but to do as little as needed for pain relief. And so now the question becomes well, which one? There's a lot of different options, Charlie, so how do we know? And this is the power of the hunting for motions process, because the purpose is to find one safe motion that is immediately effective. If it doesn't work now, I have no reason to believe it'll work in the future at the right prescription, just like a pill for you. So now let's review the 4-step hunting for motions process to help you find the one motion that you can use as medicine. Step number 1, test. The first step is to find a yucky motion, a motion that reproduces your symptoms so you can better see, feel, and understand what you're dealing with, and then I want you to score and record it. So these are the 3 most common painful motions for people with back, butt, and sciatica symptoms. You can see we have a back bend, what I call a straight leg raise, which often stresses out the sciatic nerve. So if you have sciatica, it often picks up on things, and then a seated figure 4. And so what I want you to do now is I want you to take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and I want you to take a sheet of paper, a napkin, whatever you want, and just write top 3 yucky motions. And I want you to write back bend, leg raise. If you have symptoms on the right side, right leg raise right. If you have symptoms on the left side, leg raise left. If you have symptoms on both sides, just pick the side that's most problematic or painful. And then figure 4, again, right or left. And then leave a little space for some scores in a moment. And so the first motion is a standing back bend. We're going to do 1 rep just 1 time. And as you're going through it, I want you to be mindful of this scoring system you see down here. So when you do it, I want you to be asking yourself, does this hurt or does this not hurt? I call it yucky or yummy. If it's yummy, it doesn't hurt at all. Essentially, the score then would be a 0. But if it's yucky and it does reproduce your symptoms in the back, butt, or leg, then it's either low, medium, or high. And if it's low, we're going to give it a score of 10, 20, 30, medium, 40, 50, 60, high, 70, 80, 90. The higher the score, you can see, the more yucky, painful, or problematic the motion is. So let's just say you stand there, you put your hands on your hips, you bend straight backwards, and you get a shot into one of your butt cheeks or down your leg. And you say, ouch, that really hurts, Charlie. And you know what? It's a medium. It's a 50, for example. Then you would record that score, whatever that may be for you, next to it. The next motion, you're going to be seated. Start with your heel on the ground. Then go ahead, keep your legs straight, and raise it on up. And again, as you're doing it, you're asking yourself, is it painful or not? And if it is painful, yucky, is it low, medium, or high? And in this case, I'm going to say it's low. It's a 30 out of 100. And this brings us to the third and final motion, the seated figure 4. As if you're going to cut your toenails, put on your socks, or put on your shoes, try to take that painful leg and put the ankle up on the opposite knee as you see in the picture. And let's just say I do it and it's yucky, but it's not too bad. It's a 20. Now what I want you to do is you should have scores next to each of these motions that we just tested. I want you to circle or select the most painful motion because that's what we're going to focus on in this video. We're going to focus on fixing that. But let's just say you had no yucky motions. Why is that happening, Charlie? It's actually more common than you think. Feel free to check out another video I created to help you understand why that might be happening. And the power behind just testing to find a yucky motion is that now you're focused on fixing something you can better see, feel, and understand, a way that you're moving your body that doesn't feel good. Instead of trying to fix this thing, piriformis muscle deep in the butt, sciatic nerve, something that typically exists on a picture outside of you, you're now treating yourself as a person who has a painful back bend. That's what we need to fix, not this. Or maybe if the leg raise was your yucky motion, we need to fix that. Or maybe it was the figure 4. Either way, that brings us to step 2, treat. You now need to do something to improve that yucky motion, your yuckiest motion. And the motion you use to treat must be pain-free. This is sort of rule number 1. It must be a safe, yummy motion. Because I do want to highlight the fact that doing a painful motion over and over again, as much as you may have been led to believe that things should hurt so good or that you should be doing things that cause no pain, no gain, often results in more pain, not less. But I've found after doing this that there's roughly 118 different movement options. And so the question becomes is, well, how do you know where to start and what motion to do for treatment? And this brings us to what I call the law of opposites, which helps us know exactly where to begin with the hunting for motions process. Think of it like this. A car, it can only move in so many different directions. It can go north, east, south, west, and some in-between roads or side streets. And let's just imagine you're traveling down the road, you're trying to go north, but there's a traffic jam. There's an accident causing a backup, and this lane is blocked. Well, what typically happens? Well, if northbound is jammed, what's the opposite of north? South. Southbound is often free-flowing. And so most of us in that case would either take a side street or just flip a U. And the same thing can be said if you're headed southbound. There's an accident or something's blocking the road, there's a traffic jam, you can't go southbound, and then you look across the meridian and northbound is good. And so again, we often try to find a way to turn around or take an alternative route. And so think of your body sort of in the same way. It can only move so many different directions. It can go north, east, south, and west, meaning it can go forwards, backwards, right, left, and it can rotate and do some in-betweens. And think of your yucky motion almost like an accident on the highway, whereby it causes a traffic jam. In this case, it's blocking the backwards direction. So let's just say that bending backwards is jammed, painful, yucky, reproduces the symptoms in your back, butt, or leg. Well, what's the opposite of backwards? Forwards. And so most people find that moving their body forwards in the opposite direction of that which hurts is not only safe and pain-free, but immediately effective at fixing the yucky back bend. And so we're in step 2 of the hunting for motions process where we need to treat. That's an action word. We need to do something. And so what I want you to do, if the back bend was yucky, is hold 3 times 30-second holds of the seated forward bend, as you see here. Now, one little tip is if you have a pain in your butt, it often hurts when you sit. So go ahead and just kind of ooch your bottom off the seat, hang that cheek off the chair, and go ahead and then bend forward to remove the element of compression. While you're doing it, hold 30 seconds. So now let's just say that the seated straight leg raise is your most painful or yucky motion you're trying to fix. We can see here that it brings your body in a forward position. It brings it into a C-shaped position. If this is the hinge point, you're raising your leg forward. What's the opposite of raising your leg forward? Well, kicking your leg back. It's as if I could take this C and I could bend it the opposite way, which, if you're laying on your back, results in you kicking your leg into the ground, lifting your hips up in a bridge position. And so what I want you to perform as a treatment is I want you to do 3 holds of the bridge motion that you see here until you're tired. Take maybe 5, 10, 15 seconds in between each of the sets. Now, if the figure 4 motion is the yuckiest motion, the one you're trying to fix, then you go ahead and you do the opposite of the figure 4. If the figure 4 is trying to lengthen, to think a little outside the box for this, trying to lengthen or stretch and bring 2 points further apart, well, then what happens when you try to squeeze something? Well, you're bringing 2 points closer together. And so strengthening is the opposite, you could say, of stretching. So if stretching isn't working, then we can go ahead and we can try to shorten or contract the area. And so if this is what we're trying to fix, and your treatment could be a clamshell. Remember, it's got to be safe and pain-free, but I'm going to recommend you perform 3 holds, just like we did with the last one, until you're tired. Now, a couple little things to think about here. Pretend that you're kind of aligning everything along a wall. So if you want, you can lay right in front of a wall, so your back, your butt, your legs, all of that from an above view are all right in line. Put your hand on your hip, because one fatal flaw that people do is they start like this, and then as they open up, they're rocking their hips open. And so as you put your hands on your hips, just go on up, and when you feel your hips start to kind of roll backwards, that's where you want to stop. Just a couple tips to perform it in the best way possible. And this brings us to step 3. So we've tested, we've treated to try to fix that yucky motion, but how do we know if we fixed it? How do we know if there's an immediate improvement? Well, we need to do some retesting in step 3. So here's what it looks like. Let's just say you were trying to fix the back bend. And remember, there was some score that you started with. For me, it was a 50. Maybe for you, it was something else. Maybe nothing at all if that wasn't your yucky motion. Then you did the opposite, the law of opposites. You treated 3 times 30-second holds. Now what I want you to do is retest just 1 rep, 1 time, that same yucky or painful motion, and we're going to rescore it. I put this here to help you remember that we have that scoring system. So maybe now it's a 40, for example. Give it some new number. Let's just say that the leg raise is the one that you were trying to fix. You treated using the law of opposites. You retest just 1 rep, 1 time, and you give it some new number. Maybe now it's a 70. And finally, if the figure 4 motion was your yucky motion that you were trying to treat, and then you retest it, just 1 rep, 1 time, and you give it some number. And remember, you only need to fix 1 yucky motion to unlock all others in most cases. So if you had all of these as a yucky motion, you don't need to try to do something to fix this one and this one and this one. Just fix the yuckiest, and oftentimes you'll see that that unlocks the other yucky motions. And so this brings us to step 4 of the hunting for motions process. Follow the rules. So we tested, we treated, we retested. If upon retesting the number did not change, then it didn't do anything. It didn't make you any better. You are the same. If the number, the score went down, then that motion, that treatment, did in fact make you feel better. And if, upon treating and then retesting, you saw the number went up, then that thing made you feel worse. And obviously that didn't work either. And so the goal, of course, is to find not only a motion that's safe and pain-free in the treatment phase, but then we want to find something that is immediately effective in the moment. Because if it doesn't work now and it doesn't make you better now, I have no reason to believe that it's going to work in the future. So we take a better motion, we bottle it up, use it as medicine, and then every medicine has a certain prescription on it. And every prescription has 3 elements. There's first the dose, how much, the frequency, how often you take that pill, or in this case, the movement, and then there's a timing of when you take it to get the max pain relief or the best benefits. And so, for example, if you had a yucky motion, yucky back bend, you did the forward bend 3 times 30-second holds, you would bottle that up if it made you immediately better and use it as medicine. And how much? Well, this is the dose right here. The frequency I'm going to recommend up to 4 times a day. And the timing of when to do it, well, you're going to do it before you'll place yourself in this yucky position. By the way, yucky back bend often shows up as pain when you're standing or when you're walking. So what if you could do this motion immediately before you go for a walk to see if it can free up your ability to walk by fixing your back bend, dose, frequency, and timing. And so now let's just say that the bridge immediately improved your yucky seated straight leg raise. Well, you would bottle up that motion, use it as medicine. At what dose? Well, we proved that the 3 holds until you're tired works. And then frequency, how much? I'm going to recommend 2 times a day. It's a little bit tougher of a motion. And the timing, again, think of when you might be putting yourself in that leg raise position. Imagine when you're driving, or maybe when you're going to be doing a lot of bending or lifting. What if you could perform this bridge motion, which you know fixes that seated straight leg raise or makes it feel better, and that's how you'd want to think about timing it. So timing of it is important as well. Now let's just say the clamshell or the shortening, strengthening exercises fixed the yucky figure 4 stretch, if you will. Then what you're going to do is you're going to bottle that up, again, use it as medicine. This is the dose, the frequency, 2 times a day, and timing as needed or when you might find yourself in a cross-legged position, maybe while you sleep or maybe while you're sitting, for example. And so here you have the entire process. We test, this is step 1. We treat using a motion that is safe and pain-free, and then the third step allows us to, upon retesting, see if there's an immediate improvement. It must be immediately effective. If it is, we bottle it up. In step 4, we follow the rules and we use it as medicine. You can see all of the prescriptions given whatever yucky motion you're trying to fix here outlined on the screen. This is what you want to follow. Now, the obvious question becomes, well, what's next? And how long do I do this for, right? If you found a safe motion that made you immediately better, then I want you to take that as a medicine for the next 7 days. And I think Karen, one of my patients, sums it up really well. It's like, hey, keep it simple. Keep it objective with the scoring and the retesting system we've created. And basically, at the end of the day, find a motion that works and stick with it. Pretty simple, right? And so that's the idea. That's the simplicity of the hunting for motions process. Healing doesn't have to be hard, but you have to have a systematic scientific framework for figuring out the one motion that's going to work best for you versus just throwing a random sheet of exercises at it. And the beauty of this entire process is that instead of having to go week to week to get x-rays, MRIs, or other tests to try to see if your disc is shrinking in size, your piriformis is getting better, you simply have a yucky motion that you can retest week to week to see if your scores are getting better, to see if it's improving. And if you can free up this yucky leg raise motion, for example, or your yucky motion, you can also unlock your ability to live life because your yucky motions show up in life and keep you from living and doing the things you want to do. But what happens if during this video today you did not find a motion that was safe and immediately effective at improving your yucky motion? Well, it's possible you just haven't found the one pain relieving motion yet, and you may need to go hunting for more motions. Or it's possible you're missing a key component of the pain relief process. Be sure to check out my other videos to learn more.